So what does MOPS mean to me? It's nearly impossible to me to put into words what MOPS means, but to me, it's the family that we actively choose. It's a community of prayer warriors rallying around through life's highest highs and lowest lows. And it's the perfect opportunity to invite another mama in to get to know the love of Jesus. He created us to do life together, and MOPS creates the atmosphere for us to do just that. So when I became a mama in 2016, I searched for a MOPS group in our area, and there wasn't one. My husband and I were members at our church at the time, but weren't super plugged in. And then fast forward to 2020, when I had my third baby in January. So by then I had a 4-year-old, almost 2-year-old, and newborn. And then we all know what happened in March of 2020. And everything shut down. And I was what felt like stuck at home with the babies. And it was just a really hard, isolating time. And I knew that was not that wasn't what it was supposed to feel like. It's not what Jesus intended for it. So the only thing I ever knew out of life was that I wanted to be a mom. And in that time, it was the most trying and overwhelming time, being home with all 3 littles and essentially being stuck at home with everything that was going on in the world. And then that summer of 2020, our church opened up kind of sooner than a lot of others in our area. And we had a lot of growth within our young families and kids. And I looked around thinking, like, this was a really hard time for me as it was. And I knew I needed people, and came to one of our pastors and said, so what can we do to plug these people in? And she and I talked and said, what about MOPS? I was like, actually, I've looked for a MOPS in our area and there isn't one. So she pretty much said, well, you're ready to lead one. I was like, well, I guess. And so we met with our head pastors, and fortunately they were on board and very supportive of our MOPS journey. So we started our MOPS group here at Central in 2021. I got to go to MomCon that year, the year that was All for Love. And it's been an awesome experience. I've gotten the best friends that I've ever had, and my kids do what they call their cousins. It's our day in and day out, the people that we talk to all day, every day, and that we truly do life with. And that's what MOPS is to me. It's the community that we're choosing, that we're actively, consciously with. These people that want to do life with us. I had my 4th baby in October of 2022. And her delivery was pretty traumatic. We spent about 8 days in the NICU afterwards, but as soon as we knew that things were going kind of sideways with her delivery, my MOPS mamas were surrounding us in prayer. They were on top of things. They took care of my other 3 kids, and I've got I've got my parents and sisters around, but there was nothing like the way my MOPS mamas surrounded us. They had us covered for 3 weeks with meals, and there was just nothing like that love and the support that I got from them during that time. And even just yesterday, I was stuck at the doctor with one of my babies, and it was field day for my oldest, and my mama heart was broken because I couldn't be there for him, and I was terrified that my little boy, which in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world, but I didn't want my boy to look out and not have a parent, not have someone there for him. So one of my MOPS mamas and best friends that I've gained from MOPS, she and her son showed up, and they were there and experienced field day with William, and when I couldn't be. And so that's truly what MOPS is to me. It's the family that we get to choose and the community that we get to do life together.
What does MOPS mean to me? Such a casual question that for me has a life-dependent answer. In the summer of 2021, I was 7 months pregnant with my second daughter, toting around a 2-year-old while working at her preschool, just trying to get by during the summer, longing for a sense of belonging outside of just my precious husband and my family. I didn't know it at the time, but I was about to stumble upon a tribe that I so desperately was craving. I was invited to a Bible study at a church that I hadn't heard of by a friend. The Bible study was the Mom Strong Bible study created by the ever-so-genius Heidi St. John. At the end of the 6 weeks, I felt incredibly sad that it was over. I looked so forward to spending weekly time in a room full of moms after many conversations, finding myself saying, "Oh my gosh, my toddler wants anyone we see in public to be convinced that she's being tortured too." Or, "Wait, you too think you're going to send your kid to kindergarten in diapers?" I was stunned that a community existed outside of myself with the exact same challenges, victories, and hilarious moments. Where was this incredible group of women when my first daughter was born? When I was gripped with postpartum anxiety and so desperately needed this? As we wrapped up the last Bible study, my friend Megan said, "We're getting MOPS." As in the cleaning tool, I thought to myself, having never heard of the very organization that was about to change my life. My daughter was born in August of 2021, so I missed the first ever meeting at our church, but from the second one on, I was hooked. I attended the 2021-2022 season during the amazing All for Love theme as I truly fell in love with this organization, our group, and the Lord more simultaneously. But as that season came to an end, I knew I was being called to more. Ironically, a job change caused me to be able to miss morning meetings. I knew that this wouldn't do. At a leadership meeting leading into the next season, I blurted out without even thinking, "What if we started an evening gathering?" I walked out that evening, audibly saying to myself, "What did I just sign up for? Little old me, what do I have to give?" I heard the Lord's voice so clearly. Just love them, make them feel loved, and they will come, and I'll handle the rest. 1 year later, the director of our morning group and myself are very best friends. We talk via voice memos and text form virtually all day, every day. We are attending MomCon this year together. We are a tribe, a village of moms from near and far, all races, denominations, and backgrounds. We have a morning and evening option every month for every mama, from the stay-at-home mom to the full-time working mom. We saw a need and insisted it be met. We want them all fed spiritually, emotionally, and of course physically. Our group has grown radically over the last 2 seasons. We can feel it in our souls that the best is truly yet to come. What does MOPS mean to me? Simply put, it saved my life.